Welcome to the Narrowboat that James built. Hope you're very well. Thanks for joining me. Well, this is the second part of yesterday's video, and soon you'll find out why. But you join me on the roof as I am sorting out, ready for the solar panels. Right, so I'm at the point now where I want to kind of clean up this area so I can start slapping down the protective layers of paint, which are obviously red oxide, and then on with some primer, just kind of to begin with. Well, if I can, I'll do most of it if I'm honest, but I certainly just want to do the areas where the panels are going to go, because then I can't access it afterwards. So I'm using these discs. They've got a variety of discs. I've got some sanding discs here. So these are 80 grit sanding discs, and I've got these wire attachments as well. So I'm just going to work out and see what's going to be best. I've obviously got the heat gun as well, so we'll see. But some of this is flaking, so I'm hoping it's going to come off with some of this. Well, I could only apologise for the sound quality in yesterday's video. You'll be pleased to know that I've sacked the sound guy, and from here on in, I am hoping it will be a better audible experience for you. Well, it's working, obviously, as you'd expect it to. Not particularly easy to control, and also I'm thinking in terms of coverage there's quite a lot to do. But and I did ask you guys yesterday for some comments and suggestions about how to mount the solar panels and your feedback on the ideas I had, and I mean, you guys came through in your droves. It was brilliant. Loads of ideas, lots of suggestions. Many people suggesting to go and have a look at Minimalist's YouTube channel and look at the way they did their solar setup, which I did do last night. And yeah, it was their kind of system or setup is something that I'm going to need similar to that in terms of the elevation and the tilt that you can get. So yeah, that was a great suggestion. So thanks everyone. And the other thing that came through kind of loud and clear in last night's video is I probably need not worry about the height in the tunnels for the mounting of the solar panels, which I've got to say I have had a look at a few. Well, I've had a look at the tunnel heights. Certainly on the Grand Union, yeah, I'm going to be fine. Kennet and Avon looks fine. I can't imagine I'm going to be going into some of the areas where there are low tunnels, just because they are kind of a long way away from where I'm probably going to be spending most of my time. So that was also a really valuable thing to know. So thank you so much, because that changes everything really, because if I don't have to worry about clearance, then I can mount the panels centrally over the mushroom vents, and I'll be fine height wise. And many people commented about the importance of the centre line, which obviously I need to have a ring welded onto the centre point of the boat. But that now I'm having the panels centrally located, it does mean therefore that I can place them in a way that gives me plenty of clearance around for the centre line. So I'm planning on having kind of two forward of the centre line and one further back of the centre line. I think just for that reason, there's probably a little bit more space at the front, because at the back obviously there is the chimney, and then you don't really want the panels right at the kind of the stern bulkhead. So I think the further away they are, and it just seems that most people seem to position their panels towards the bow of the boat. So I'm going to do exactly the same. So once again, thank you for all of your comments and suggestions. Really valuable, as always. I'm being mindful not to sand down this or grind away this ridge, this seam here where the well's been, just because it might be part of the strength of the joint. So I'm going to leave that as it is. Well, by this stage, I was really wishing I hadn't started this job because this is taking forever. To get the flake stuff up is quite easy, it doesn't take that long, but to kind of, and then you go a bit further and you kind of get a nice flat steel surface and you think, well, that would be lovely to paint on. So you keep going and then you kind of got to keep going then once you've got that, because the finish is going to be so much better. But this is taking a long time. I think there might be some areas that I don't do quite as well as this. Maybe I'll do this one because it's closer to the rear and there are more people that are likely to see it. But this is like a week's worth of solid work, just kind of grinding this stuff down, and that's not the only thing it's grinding down. Well, I've caught myself on the side of the angle grinder with the where's the knife? With the sanding disc attachment, which is ironic because I was only just thinking that it had been a long time since I'd cut myself on a sanding disc. Honestly, I kid you not, because at school my finger slid down between the gap in the plate and the disc, which was painful. I was just like remembering that. Paul's came to my rescue though. I've got some tissue on it and it doesn't look like it's completely soaked in blood, so oh good, there's a thingy on that one. I don't think there's any antiseptic wipes in this thing. Right, I'll go on with that, and then I need some tape to wrap around it. I don't think there's any tape here either. Oh gosh. Oh, what's this? That's what it looks like. Oh gosh, at least it's not like totally caning it in blood, but I'm a bit of a baby when it comes to this kind of stuff, if I'm honest. I never used to be, and clearly I don't know how to wrap this up, but yeah, I used to be kind of cool with injuries and seeing blood. But I don't know what it is now. Maybe it's an age thing, but I hate it. Problem is that is going to really limit me now. It's right on the end of the thumb, and I'm going to feel it in literally everything I do. Right. Oh, I need to get some red oxide as well. I could probably do that. See the blood soaking through this now. That's a bit worrying. That is a bit worrying. My mum's a nurse, so I might give her a call, see what she suggests. Right, a cup of tea and a smoke though, I think. Oh no, there's loads of blood coming through that. Right, I better sort this out. Well, that was not a very pleasant experience. I think it stopped bleeding. The blood mark in the plaster is the same. I phoned my mum to get some advice, but she's in the middle of a bridge lesson or game or match or whatever you're doing. So I'm going to plod on. I just can't stop because I've got to carry on, because really I want to get the red oxide down on this and I want to do it in one go. I'm only going to do one panel though. I'm not going to bother doing anything else. So, gotta kind of. Oh no, that is. I don't want that to get caught. That won't be very good. How can I get rid of that? No, don't. No, that's not going to work. Yes, it will. Right. Well, Mum's called back and she suggested that I should go and get it cleaned up and get a tetanus booster, because I think my last tetanus was when I went to Cancun in 2001. So that's a bit of a thumbs down. Oh yeah, the insulation tape that seems to be sticking anyway. Yeah, I need to get it cleaned. It's not very good. I did take a little bit of medical advice from Paul, Narrowboat Hands, and he seemed to think that this was an okay solution. But I don't know. He's an engineer, so they kind of keep going through anything, don't they? They kind of just battle on. That'll do, carry on working. But I don't know, I'm going to be badgered to death if I don't sort this out. So I think I'm going to have to go to some kind of walk-in clinic or whatever, which are probably empty because it's COVID and no one wants to go anywhere. So I'm going to have to go and brave it and get this fixed. Medical emergency and all. Anyway, that's sorted up my plans for the afternoon. I might come back and carry on. I did afterwards. I mean, it's fine. It's just, it stings a bit in fairness. But anyway, I better go and fix this. So thanks for watching. Until next time, take care of yourselves, unlike me. Bye-bye.
Just wait for my colleague to see you.
Okay, thank you.
I got a couple more before you.
All right, then.
Right, sit down there, please.
Okay, cheers. Well, it's not going to change my life. But there's definitely a chunk taken out of that thumb. Well, I'll survive. She put a couple of steri strips on it. Cleaned it up a bit,
told me off, and then sent me on my way. Gave me a few antibiotics just in case it got infected, because it all got dirty and stuff. She thought that Narrowboat Hands' bandage was a sterling effort, but apparently they don't use that technique in medical school. They anyway, they do something different. So I'll let Paul know when I next see him that technique has been superseded. But anyway, I'm on the mend. Thumbs up. Just.